Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 3 from GSL Group C. In the bottom left, playing for Dragon Kaisi Gaming, it's of course Dark. And in the top right, as our red Terran player, opening up with a double gas opener here. Can only be one man really who does things like this. It's of course Special. Special versus Dark, as it was match 1 in GSL Group C. Once again, a big shout out to the GSL for delivering the replays at such a high pace to everyone around the world that is subscribed to their Patreon. And of course also setting up the Patreon, increasing the prize pool for Korean players and foreigners alike who wanted to play in Korea. So just some words of praise there for the good people at the Global StarCraft League. This is interesting though, a double gas opener coming out of Special. What does that mean? Well, it means it's going to be a fast factory, but how is he going to follow this up with? I don't know. I've seen Special actually play build orders similar to this before, and I want to say it was things like 3 Reaper into 2 cars, kind of like a TVT-esque build. Goes for the full wall as well in the natural, which I think in general is slightly underrated in a way. I feel like walls are freaking powerful, and the earlier you can get a wall, the better it's going to be. Sometimes I wonder if Terrans maybe should just always wall on the low ground against Zerg. I mean, imagine if you have your factory, you know, just mass-producing Hellions in your natural wall. That sounds pretty sick to me. Maybe it hurts in the early game against like certain roach pushes, but I'm not sure about that. I'm sure you could mix it in every now and again. The Reaper is so much faster as well, which is definitely a benefit. One drone gets taken out. Good control here out of Special so far. Who does decide to go for a second Quick Reaper rather than opting for that Reactor play. It's going to be 2 Reaper into Reactor now. Now, this is the one thing I hadn't expected. I either would have expected 3 Reaper into Reactor or 1 Reaper into Reactor. This is kind of middle of the road, but with a pretty fast starport as well. Okay, here we go. Continues fighting with those bad boys. Gets a couple more kills. Dark actually really struggling with this initial minor attack here out of Special. That is somewhat surprising, as Dark is a player that I feel usually, although he doesn't necessarily always have the correct response to things, he makes it work with whatever he has. Here comes the car in towards the natural. Zoning grenade on the ramp as more and more of these links are being taken out. Couple of drones in major trouble here. 3 drones go down. Make that 4 perhaps? No. Gonna stick with 3. Car and 1 Reaper will end up falling though. Follow-up is going to be a Cyclone Marine Medevac. Well, push, attack, whatever it's going to be. I don't quite know. Probably just a drop trying to snipe a couple of Overlords that are around. So really nice opener so far out of Special. Who really is putting on a lot of pressure on his opponent here in the early game. I mean, from start to the finish, basically, is just attacking. Metabolic Boost is going to be spotted finishing here, and that's also the last thing most likely that this Reaper is going to end up seeing. Grenade gets thrown down. No, Reaper does not quite manage to make that jump down, as we see the swap of the factory and the starport. Starport moves to the tech lab, factory moves to the reactor. And that means we're going to be seeing a double Hellion production here as the Cyclone 4 Marines try to take out a couple of these Marines. And we're going to get a Raven out. That's actually somewhat interesting. Raven first. We have a tech lab here on this barracks as well, and a 3rd CC coming in. Fake cloak, which I like. I think that's a cool little thing here. Cancels it immediately as well. Wants to keep that gas for something else. Still believe that Special is still going to be playing bio off of this, despite it looking like a Gumiho-like opener. Gumiho really liked these type of Cyclone builds for a while, but he never really did them with 2 gas like Special did here. Second Raven. Usually you have trouble convincing a Terran to build a single Raven. Special just builds 2. He has powerful genetics. Like as a Terran, you really need to kind of fight your inner idiot. Because every Terran has the inner idiot that tells you that the Raven isn't good. Now, why do Terrans think the Raven isn't good? It's because most Terran players only use a single control group to control their units. And in that case, the Raven flies over cliffs because it's so darn fast. This is a true story. This is the reason why Raven is being underused. If Terrans had 2 control groups, then the Raven would be the #1 unit that we would see. Trust me on that. Ooh, no target fire really, as well, 1 drone is gonna fall. The Queen took way too much damage. That was a mistake out of Special. Really need to target fire better with that auto turret. 9 more drones on the way here for Dark, as Okay, Special just gonna go into a macro game against Dark, which is not something that I would have necessarily expected. Now, I don't think that Special is bad in a macro game. I just think that Dark doesn't really lose very much against foreigners when it comes to Lingbane against Bio. Raven is in a little bit of trouble here, as these Ravens are not going to achieve very much. Both of them have taken, well, somewhat significant damage already, making it kind of difficult. Oh, cars, where did they come from? Medevac just dropping that in there. That was the Medevac from earlier, by the way. I completely forgot that that thing existed. Really cool move. So uses the Cyclone plus Marines to clear Overlords around. Then goes in with Raven harassed and drops 4 cars. So there's really a lot of different types of threats coming forward, right? So you have the threat by air, and then you have the Hellions in the main, which all of these are not very common, I think, the way that the game is being played out so far. And I like that. I like that Specials is kind of throwing curveball after curveball after curveball. First macro hatch is going up in the main base here for Dark. Second one will follow shortly as well, as that is the style that he likes to play. Dark does not like having his queens injecting. Dark says, no, that's a stupid mechanic. What I do instead is I just build a couple of hatcheries in my main base, a bunch of hatcheries around the map. He'll often expand at a very rapid pace, taking a 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then I'm just gonna mass links while my queens help with the defense initially. So the goal there is to get slightly more workers and use basically your larva for drones, while your queens at the same time are being used for defense. So there's no queens that stay at home majority of the time. Like, see, all of them just being pulled forward here. So usually you see a Zerg with 7 queens, but there will be 1 in the main, 1 in the natural, 1 in the third. So it's really just defending with 4 queens, or just with 5 queens. Dark is a different type of Zerg, let me tell you that. A very different type of Zerg. Because he also gets an infestation pit right now, starts getting ready for the late game already, I would say, despite him still being on pretty much an early game worker count. If this was a Protoss player, 66 workers is mid game, but for Zerg, the mid game, I feel like, you know, it gets introduced. You know, you hear the clock go ding dong the moment the Zerg hits 75, 70, maybe even 76 workers. I think that is the mid game Zerg count, the Zerg worker count, basically. As this Terran player is also on 67, actually now 69. Armory is on the way. We have no fort base quite yet. That's going to be a little bit delayed. There's a massive Ling run by is being set up. This is also a special that has been made by Dark. It's just counterattacking with every single Ling that he has in his army, while simultaneously having enough Banelings at home to defend. And then if he gets pushed back by reinforcement, he's like, well, then you don't have enough over here. I can come back with those Lings as a flank. And that's exactly what he's going to end up doing. Target fire so far is, well, pretty okay. There's only 2 Banelings left. Special surely can just target those down. Yep, there we go. These get targeted down. At the same time, 12 workers have gone down on the side of Special, but this was not enough Banelings defensively here. This was a 1-1 fight against 0-0 as well. Let's not forget about that. The turret now is being set up in the main base. 2-3 workers will end up falling. These Marines dishing out so much damage. If Special doesn't mess up the micro here, he's going to be in a fantastic position. Does not have a fort base quite yet. Is working off of 7 barracks as well. And this is very all-in out of Special, but it's an all-in that is working. And that's really all that matters. This base is gonna get taken out. Dark wants to send another counterattack as 2 tanks will siege up. Marines are around, which means that this Ling run by should not deal the same amount of damage as the previous one. Still, 8 workers get taken out. Special is on a bit of a timer, but he also has a massive advantage when it comes to the supply that he has, when it comes to the 2-2 upgrades that have already started. While on the other side, well, we see them start now, but there's going to be another window of about 30-35 seconds in which Special is going to have +2 against just +1 armor. This fight, well, these Marines are in a bit of trouble. No, Bailey's actually going for the tank on the low ground, while on the high ground Special gets a full pickup over here. These Marines stay alive. Once again, not a very good fight here for Dark. And I think that could have been a good fight. He could have cleaned all those Marines on the low ground, but the Banelings just straight ran into that tank. What a blunder here from our Korean Zerg player. Uncharacteristic. Usually so solid with that unit control, probably thinking about the next Ling run by that he's gonna try and send out. Double Liberators now showing up towards this 5th base, or well, what is now the 4th base, I guess. Drop also here, still being very active. It's gonna make it hard for Queens to come in and deal with it. Well, it's gonna make it very hard for Queens to come and deal with, because there's only a single Queen. No way. Oh my god. Is that a high ground burrow? That is indeed a high ground burrow of 3 Banelings. If only the Raven was here, that would be sick. Oh! Dark misses the timing there by quite a bit as well. as he continues to lose mining on his forward base. SpeCial just continues rallying units into his natural. Eventually he's going to send these over as reinforcements, and once that happens, I actually think that Dark is pretty freaking dead. He has 11 banelings, 54 links, there's 72 marines. I don't even think you have to micro anymore if you're SpeCial here. You can literally just A-move, stand still and shoot, and the banelings will die by themselves. It's 3 base versus 3 base right now, with SpeCial at a massive supply advantage. This is an unlosable game. And I say that knowing the history of these two. I've seen games between those two which have looked unlosable from SpeCial side, and then Dark would come back. But this time around, I just don't think it's going to be possible. There's no lurkers, there's no ultras on the way. Yes, SpeCial is on very low eco, and he still hasn't built a forward base. He's oversaturating his third, which all of these things, they might be mistakes. I would really not mind a transitionary forward base at some point. I love that he's continuing +3 upgrades as well, but it feels almost impossible to lose this game, honestly. Like, unless he legitimately falls asleep. I think he can just stand there and shoot. Yeah, he definitely can. Hive is gonna fall. This hatchery is going to fall. One more Ling run by to rule them all, but it's not going to be enough here. GG gets called, and SpeCial wins game number 1 for the foreigners here in the GSL. And I think that's a side a lot of people didn't quite expect to see. You know, the 1-0 in favor of SpeCial here in the bottom left side of the map. It is really something. I recall a game on Romanticide in 2021 Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, and boy, that was not pretty. All right, that was really not pretty. I do not envy SpeCial for that game there. Like, that's gotta be a sour memory. Sometimes you have these games in your career where years down the line you remember losing something like the throw of a lifetime, basically. Sometimes it isn't a throw, but just when you get upset by someone else. I remember one time I flew, I think it was 2017, to DreamHack Austin, and I was severely jet lagged. I'll state that as my preemptive excuse for the story that's about to come. And I played against Jon Snow in the decider match. I think it was of Group 3 or Group 2. And I was in good shape at this time. So like I was feeling very good about StarCraft 2. It must have been 2016 actually. Maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was feeling good about StarCraft 2, and I lost one game, and I felt a bit silly about it, whatever. Then I think I won the next one, and in the last game, my opponent opened up with a 16 pool, but I was so scared of losing that for whatever reason, my mind went into panic overdrive, and I thought it was a 12 pool. So I started chrono boosting out 2 zealots, full walling with 2 gateways in the cybernetics core. Jon Snow built, I think, 4 links, saw that I had a full wall and 2 zealots, went home, droned up, and absolutely destroyed me in the next 10 minutes. It wasn't fun. And at some point in the game, you know that it's over as well, and you're just sitting there hoping that your opponent accidentally explodes all of his banelings by himself. I think the map was Belshire Vestige. It's like, this is one of these games that when people talk about throws, I always think about that. Despite it not actually being a throw, I just threw the game in the early game, basically, by having a terrible early. Just thinking back of it, my body temperature, I can feel it go up. You know, you have those people that say they can like influence their heart rate by breathing in a certain way and, fight off diseases and stuff. I think if the doctors ever need me to raise my body temperature, it's like, he's going down, he's too cold. It's like I just start thinking about Jon Snow 16 pulling me on Belshire Vestige, and just like that, I'm going up again. It's absolutely mental what it can do. All right, with that great story behind us, let's actually take a look at the build order here. This was a Reaper into 2 Marine opener and a full wall on the left. Okay, this is kind of what I was talking about last time. This is going to be... Wait, is it? Yeah. It's going to be a 2 gas, 2-2 in gas. It's a very different approach here to something I've seen before. Starport on the high ground? Alright, you tell me what this is special, because I don't quite know. I'm really curious though. Like, this Reaper is just going back and forth. Like, he wants to get some info. It's like, wait, I'm being roach rushed? What is this opener here? This makes no sense. There's no third base. There's pretty quick speed, but there's nothing else. So it feels like Dark still has got to go for something from here, but he ain't. He's just playing kind of standard StarCraft, just without a third base. Might be Muras, actually. That would be a sick move to pull here. As we do see the barracks move back for now. It's going to turn into a tech lab over here, as we also have a tech lab coming up on the starport in the main base. command center. Look at that. He completely pulled out of gas. This is a very optimized build order here for more mineral mining. I wonder if he's just going to play Ravens again then. Oh, it's Banshee first. Slightly supply block, but that's okay. I wonder if he's still going to get Cloak too, or if that's off the table here. It's hard to say sometimes. Does not have a lot of gas in the bank though. It's either going to be Stim or Cloak. Can't do both. Doesn't have the gas for it. Okay, it's going to be Stim. Another tiny supply block here. A little bit sloppy out of special. Reaper being targeted down. Doesn't quite die though. How many cars? 6 cars. 6 cars, single Banshee. Barracks in the wall now, or what do we do here? And where's the factory flying? Guess it's going to build one more reactor over here. Okay. This is going to be a really quick push if he's actually building 2 medevacs. Wait, that's a 4cc. What? So he's skipping E-base for a fast 4C. Is this going to be fake bio? Is this mech? No, it's not. Okay, I've never seen this particular build order before. So for a second I was thinking, like, what if you just... So you'll go with like an initial marine push. Maybe you get 3 medevacs, Stim, combat shield. And then with a fast 4cc, you just transition into mech. Kind of like bio into mech. But no, we do have these E-base coming down. And we have 2 more barracks as well being added in. This is a very specific build order that I am not familiar with at all. Medevacs aren't starting quite yet, which surprises me, because he really rushed out that reactor. Like, we saw that happen. Now he needs to make a decision between a tank, these medevacs. Like, what's going to happen? Okay, he's going to go for a tank. So, medevacs will not come out for quite a while. We have a forward orbital already done, 6 minutes into the game. As Dark adds, well, 1 macro hatch in the main base, 1 hatch over here on the 4th. I'm really curious what SpeCials' plan is going to be. Just enormously curious. He's up to 5 barracks already at this point. So his production is going to be solid. These medevacs will... I thought it was going to be a very quick timing, but he's actually going to arrive quite late with these medevacs now. They're not even done at 6:40 yet. That is really late. It's just a single Banshee without Cloak as well. And I think there's a bit of a mind game involved here. So I think that Dark looks at this and probably believes that it's going to be a 7 or 8 Rex again, just like last game. But it's quite the opposite. We have an insanely fast forward base. And there's still probably going to be 8 barracks at some point. But the 8 barracks are... Okay, factory here, never mind. This is not a very good fake if it's a fake. But I think it might have been initially intended as one. Fort base already moving over. As an orbital command. 66 workers to 70. SpeCial does have a minor supply lead, but that's also because Dark hasn't spent a bunch of his cash that's still in the bank right now. Larva not quite available. Here comes a Stim 4. These rocks will not fall, at least not for now. Combat shield finishes up too. All at the same time, the first queen gets targeted down, and SpeCial will pull back. So a very good start here for Juan Tena Lopez Carlos, also known as SpeCial, who sniped a couple of units. Forced his opponent to build a lot of links right now. 1-1 is finishing up. 2-2 will start immediately. We have barracks 6, 7, and 8 coming in. Second factory is done. Like, the production here for SpeCial is extraordinary. It really is. He's a build order machine. So far he's shown 2 build orders that I'm absolutely unfamiliar with. And that is very exciting. These banelings try to move forward. Is there burrow? Yeah, there's burrow. There most definitely is burrow here. There's 3 banelings on this top side. It's 163 supply to 158. SpeCial has forgotten to start 2-2, which is actually a pretty big deal. It's now trying to siege up here with a couple of Hellbats. We'll take out some of these morphing banes. Here we go, links coming in. But there's Hellbats there. Surely that's not going to be a very good fight at all here. For Dark. Dark in a lot of trouble. Does not have speed. Can he target down those Banes? No, they're not being targeted down right now. Because these Banes will get the connections on the Marines that were necessary. But that was still not great for Dark. This needs to happen. This really needs to happen. And it kind of does. It kind of does. That was huge. If that doesn't happen, I think Dark is in a world of trouble. I still think he's not in a necessarily brilliant position. He's down in workers. It's something you really never see in this matchup. I think a 5th base could start soon. And Marauder production is already on the way. Drilling Claws coming out now as well. Special realize he's playing against Ling Bane and will completely transition into triple mine production here with the Drilling Claws. Sensor towers coming up as well. We still have some tanks defensively, but the aggressive tank is now officially gone. I'd love to see a 5th base here at some point. And I would almost say with a 5th base, hey, why don't we just build it on location? Just rally a little bit forward, build that 5th base on location. You can do it, my friend. Like, it's either going to be here or here. Like, what does it matter? Well, maybe Ling Runby takes it out a bit quicker. Dark is thinking about sending this across the map, but will pick the defensive route here instead. There's 1 mine in the back. I don't think that's quite enough. He's going to need more mines if he wants to properly fight this. Gotta drop towards the main base. Dark's already in position, though. He's always in position against this type of play. Could have, at the same time, cleared this mine, perhaps with a Ling, but decides not to. This bad boy is gonna get cleared. Sees this move out. 2 medevacs need to boost on over there to try and deal with it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This could be very scary. This is very scary. Here comes a big stim forward. Tank is helping out. Mines are burrowing as well. We need to lift this depot. We need to raise the depot as the mine connects with a bunch of these Lings. Bailing moves in. It's going to cost him 9, 10, 11, 13 workers here as Lings once again stream in towards the natural. This was a very important fight here for Dark, who now is trying to get the connections, but doesn't quite get it. And despite all of those good trades, we still have a lead here for SpeCials. He's floating a little bit of cash as well. These Lings now burrowing in the main base, and this is where the Dark outplay can begin. Still no 5th base has... Oh, never mind. 5th base has started. What am I saying? Of course it has started. We get a big stim forward here. Mines trying their best to get the connections. We have 7 medevacs total. And Dark will be pushed back for now. It is 59 workers to 72, but 131 army supply against just a mere 90. 100 Lings, 22 Banelings. That is it. I think if there's going to be a timing at which SpeCials has a good chance to win, that timing is going to be right about now. The Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. Look how many mines. He has 16 mines. He has a mine for every Baneling. That's actually pretty sick. 8 medevacs are out as well. This is a good angle. There's hardly any creep. And Dark needs to defend this base, I think. I don't think he can give it up. Can he? Well, he can try. Triple mine drop heading towards the top side simultaneously. There is a spore in position. 3 mines at the same exact location. Come on, SpeCials. This is not how we want to do it. More mines are now burrowing. Oh my god, what a disaster of an engagement so far here for our Mexican Terran player, who is still trying to burrow these mines, but this was a disaster of a fight so far. Oh, we do get the pickup with these 5, 6 medevacs. Oh, but that was the momentum that I think he just threw out of the window. He had it. He had the momentum. If this setup was better, this fight would have been fantastic. 9 drones do end up falling against this mine drop. We still have this bad boy, this 5 drop going into the main base, but there are some spores in position. Mines need to burrow as well. Spore gets targeted down, but I've already seen, I think, 2 medevacs taken out. That's going to be number 3 and perhaps 4. No, not the greatest trade here for SpeCials, who still hasn't managed to secure his 5th base. 4th base went down at the 7-minute mark. And when I say went down, it landed as an orbital at the 7-minute mark, which is unreal. And then not having a 5th base down at 13 minutes into the game, that means for almost half the game you didn't manage to get another base. That is not a good look here for SpeCials, who is trying to get 3-3 right now. Could target down that 1 Bane, instead opts for the pickup after taking out the Spore. Still has an okay supply count, but the problem right now is that Vipers are out, and Vipers change the game. It means that medevacs are going to be less plentiful. We already only have 2 medevacs. We have Liberators that are being produced, which are practically useless in my mind at this point. Like, medevacs just provide much more value if you have an army supply of 190. And you only have 2 medevacs, then I think priority is always going to be at the medevacs. Here we go. Stims the Marauder, stims the Marines. Mines do need to burrow, and here... Oh my god, there's still 8 Marines in here. Yeah, this is a disaster. This is an absolute disaster of a fight. Mines trying to burrow. All medevacs have gone down officially, so there's no evacuation plan either here. All of these units will be left behind. Banshee's still chilling on this top side. Don't think that one's ever going to see any action. Mine? No. Does not quite get that least range. Ooh! Viper does get taken out for free. Second Viper almost gets blasted as well. Mine split here once again, not absolutely perfect. Yeah, the medevac count is just too low. This is just what it is. You can't stim if you only have 3 medevacs. It is simply not possible. Like, there's not enough healing. Another stim here is going to allow these Banes to one-shot every single Marine in here. Parasitic Bomb does get cast. Mine's helping out the Zerg more than it helps out the Terran. The Planetary is trying to give some backup and is giving some backup simultaneously. This was an okay fight up here, it seems like, for specials. These mines have 24 kills on this bad boy. Holy crap. Still 160 supply to 160, but now Dark does have a bit of a bank. There is an Ultra Cavern on the way, so the moment that one finishes, I think we'll see Chitinous Plating and 3-4 Ultras, yeah. And now the supplies, they represent the state of the game just a little bit better. Special still just pumping out bio at a very high pace, but I don't think that is quite going to be enough. 6th base does get started, which is big. If we can secure that 6th base and maybe throw down a Ghost Academy, we could be heading into a late game. And in late game, Terran always has chances. That was not the target fire we needed either. These Banelings need to be taken out. They weren't. Mines are gonna get big connections though. That is 40 kills in total on that mine. A true veteran of the scene. And that's pretty big, because without that, you're not going to make anything work. Double Drop's now heading towards the top side, but there's a Spore in position. Let's take a look how Special is going to control this. Is he going to fly straight in? No, he's going to try his best. Still Drops kind of on top of that Spore, which is not brilliant. He's just going to aim for the Spore now. I feel like once you suicide in, probably better to just go for those drones. Gonna still get 9, which is, you know, better than nothing, I guess. Bottom side army can't be evacuated either. Oh my god, Fungal from behind. Great flanking infestor there. But the supplies are surprisingly close, and Dark only on 69 workers does finish 11 up at this point. It almost feels like Special has a chance again, but then again, the army comp for Special hasn't improved in the past 8 minutes. While the army comp for Dark has improved significantly, both with the Chitinous Plating for the Ultras, Anabolic Synthesis now on the way, but also just Infestors and Vipers being sent in. There's no medevacs with this army whatsoever, so this is just toast. Like, absolutely toast. Banshee could try and help out over here, and is probably going to get a couple more kills. These Marauders and Marines try to move back. Same time on the bottom side here, Ultras chasing a bunch of bio around, but that's not quite working out either. Get a Burrow here on the 6th base. Almost feel like this as a 6th would be superior initially for Special, but he believes he can take this. Not sure if I agree with that analysis. It's gonna turn into a planetary. I mean, if you secure this, you get this one for free, but securing this is kind of the hard part, and he really needs cash right now. He's kind of strapped for cash. 73 workers. Almost no extra orbitals. He's still on 4 orbitals, the same as he was at 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. As more and more Ultras are popping out right now. We have range upgrades starting, as well as a Nidus network. Dark has a weird way of playing late game sometimes, depending a bit on the situation. Baneling Ling run by, gets sent over here towards that third base. No stim on these units, good control. Good patience. Not very trigger happy at all here, Special. As now he does stim his entire army, so a bit too trigger happy still. There's nothing here. There's no medevac with this. This is just pure bio, just running around like a bunch of clowns. Something we almost never see. This is not going to work out for him either. This Queen is tanking a lot of damage here, gets the transfuses down as well. Special now moves forward, but there are no mines in this particular composition. Mine gets a connection with 2 links. Another mine can burrow here at the same time defensively. What can Dark do? Can he defend this? I think he can. We'll lose the base. We'll lose a bunch of workers. But Special also is losing a lot of workers and lost basically all of his army that was back at home. Now Dark says, hey, I smell blood in the water. I think there's someone floating around here that I can eat. And that someone's going to be Special most likely, as he's bursting in towards the natural at this moment. Reinforcements being picked up. Is there enough vision to clear those mines? Yes, there is. Overseer just providing that. Special drops on top of these Ultras, but that's not the most brilliant play. At the same time, bottom side being taken out. Mines being triggered here by single links, and this planetary is already very low. It is burning down, and we have a couple of ultras coming in. Baneling does try to get that connection. Here come the ultras. What will they target so far? Well, not the correct thing. Here comes the fungal, though. Huge fungal on top of the blinding cloud. 48 workers have gone down in the past 30 seconds. Special taps out with a GG as Dark ties up the series with a 1-1 score. Final game in this best of 3 will be played on Neo Humanity, with for the 3rd time in 3 games, for the people paying attention in the back, that is indeed 100% of the time, we're gonna see a full wall, or at least a walled attempt in the natural. And as it hasn't been punished yet, I'm starting to believe that this might be the proper way to play StarCraft 2 as a Terran. Who would have thought? Pros have been walling for years now. Terrans finally have figured out that if you have a wall in your natural, it's a lot harder for Zergs to do run-bys. Actually I'm really curious why people don't do it with triple CC. I think it might be too dangerous against certain Ravager all-ins, to be honest. I think that's the main reason why we don't see it. But I think with double gas openers... Oh, this is an actual double gas opener. Usually when I talk about double gas, I mean double gas after 2nd command center, but before the 3rd command center. But this is going to be similar to game number 1. I love this logic out of Special. Game 1 he won with this particular build. Game 2 he played a different build and it didn't work. Guess what he's gonna do in game number 3? Exactly. The same thing as the game that he won. God. Although last game he was in the 6th spot as well in the early game, let's face it. He had a good eco lead, he had a lot of units. There wasn't a whole lot of creep. It all went wrong in the one fight where all these mines were burrowed at the same spot. There wasn't enough medevacs to heal and to pick up stuff. Wait, what is this? Fast 3rd hatch. Oh, this is some Dark Special again. Why is he mining from the low ground already? Oh, he's playing gasless. He tried looking for it. It's like, is there a 3rd base here? No. Just kind of... Oh, no. He's dedicating resources to blocking a 3rd base. That is already going up. This doesn't look good for Special. Oh no! Oh my god! If he doesn't become aware of this, it's actually going to be quite bad. It's also important this Reaper stays alive, which I hope it will, right? Yeah, okay. Reaper will stay alive, so we have a CC going down on the side of Special now. Who's adding on another Reaper and another Hellion. So it's going to be 3 Reaper, 2 Hellions, I think. That's what I'm kind of feeling. That is really cool. That is actually a high tier move. But he's not aware of the 3rd base. This is just painful all around, isn't it? It is just painful all around. He's gonna try to jump up here. It's not really working out for him. It's not working out at all. Oh my god. You need to rotate and see that 3rd base, my friend. No, don't lose the Reaper. It does not lose the Reaper. That's big. Please rotate towards the bottom side. It's not like he can really do anything about it. It's just that he needs to have that info. That Reaper is fairly low. Needs to be quite careful here. This is actually a pure Terran versus Terran build order, by the way. Can I just say that? Yeah, I can say that. SCV now coming back home. Let's take a look if Dark is paying attention to that. So if he sees that SCV come home, he's gonna know there's a proxy. I don't think he caught that. SCV went in the natural on the top side, just as a unit was coming out as well. So it actually looked... There was this car came out, so it just looked like it was the car. That was kind of lucky, I guess, for Special. Now the Liberator is going to be sent out here. What's the follow-up going to be? I don't quite know. Maybe a medevac, maybe a Viking. 2 more gases coming. Well, actually, these are the first 2 gases. Pure gasless so far here out of Dark. Special's now aware of this base existing. That's not going to be enough, though. Dark's response, will it be good enough? Sees the Liberator come in and is going to lose 1 worker. That's it. 1 worker go. Quick response here out of Dark. Does need to reposition screen there a little bit. Trying to fight these Reapers and cars. 1 car will go down. Queen will fall against the Lib though. Good job by Special. A little bit faster there on the control on that side of things at least. Now the Hellions and Reapers trying to move towards the natural, see if they can do something. I actually believe that if Special were to commit to a base, he could kill 10, 12, 13, 14 workers. Like there's 6 slow links Then there's a bunch of queens. This is really quite unfortunate for Special. First Liberator has gone down, has taken out some units. I think an Overlord just got blasted somewhere. Okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. Now you go, now you go. You throw down that grenade. Yep, into the main. First you shoot here maybe. Oh, there's a couple of links on the ramp, but they are slow. They're not a massive issue. And now it's all going to be about the drone splits. There's no Evo chamber to block at all. Liberator is re-sieging as well as we speak. That is 7, 8, 9 workers that will fall 100%. As this wait, what's he doing with these units? He's just gonna give them up? Surely no. Okay, Queen will get taken out. 9 drones total. I feel like this should have been more. I really feel like this should have been more. But it wasn't more. This is I guess a good defense then. Out of Dark, or perhaps not the greatest attack out of Special. I really thought one shot in the natural, then going into the main would have been the top play. In my mind at least. You can definitely get like 5-6 kills in the natural. You get 17 still. Yeah, if you get 16 workers, it does look a bit better, but not that much better. 4 gas is now going down all at the same time, as this reactor most likely is going to be blasted. Is this the third lip? Yeah, that's the third lip. Did get 2 worker kills. This is now moving back home. Reactor in a little bit of trouble. Well, the reactor is burning down. Not a little bit of trouble. As these Marines are also in quite a bit of trouble. A lot of them are dying here. Reactor needs to be repaired. Reactor takes so long. If you lose a reactor, that's -4 Marines. Reactor takes, what is it, 36 seconds or so? Marines 18, if I'm not mistaken. Or 21. I always mess that up. I feel like it's 18 though. Yeah. Surely, right? Surely I wouldn't make that mistake after playing close to 2,000 Terran games. And basing all my builds as a Protoss in PvT on the fact that Marines take 18 seconds. There's no way I would get that wrong. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna check after this game. Otherwise I'll just cut this part out. There will be a very long silent space here. Everyone's wondering, yeah, where did Harstem go? Walk the dog, probably. That's what they'll think. Is this going to be a 1-1 timing attack with the roaches, or is it going to be more defensive? We'll have to wait and see. Liberator now being set up on the far right side. Barracks 4 and 5 are on the way. This is going to be one hell of a timing attack. It has 13 Marines total. 2 tanks that will stay at home for now. I mean, if you scout this as Special, I think you're actually in an okay position. Lip wants to start moving forward. It's gonna get caught here by the Queens. Here come the Marines stimming in. Yeah, Dark's already in position now. This is no problem. Oh, snipes one Ravager and we'll pick up. Fort base starts. It's an awkward position as well here on that right side, in my opinion. With the starport, right? Doesn't feel nice. Does not feel nice at all. Armory, a little over 10% done now. Still will be kind of far away. Liberator's trying to chase this Overlord. Might move into Queen range. But he won't. Good movement there. Out of Special. 3 depots going down. We're just kind of waiting for something to happen here. But I'm also afraid that when something will happen, that Special might just end up dying. Here comes a big drop though. Moving in towards this fort base it was. A couple of these roaches being taken out. 1-1 versus 0-0. Marines are ripping through this. Ravager's now being targeted down, or at least one of them does end up falling as more tanks are in production. We have a lot of cash in the bank though, Special. I wouldn't mind if you spend that a little bit. Either on extra barracks, maybe even a second factory. Yep, there we go. Second factory comes in. We have 25 roaches. 32 roaches, 4 Ravagers against 3 tanks and 22 Marines. Now, a lot of the Marines are, well, a lot. 8 Marines are in this medevac. So it's going to be 19 Marines at home. Don't forget. Wait, what? He's going to move out? I don't think you should be moving out right now, mate. Okay, he's not going to move out. It felt like it, though, for a second. Okay, this was in range of the tower as well, so not a great position. Could definitely lift it and try to fly it back home. Reactor's going to get taken out. Imagine if he sets it back up now. That would be the highest tier play that I've seen in my entire life. Planetary is going to morph here in the middle. A couple of roaches coming from that left side. Tank shoots from a distance. Biles will take care of the first tank most likely, as roaches are now engaging with the Marines. SCV count is going to drop rapidly here. This is a nice little flank play coming out of Dark, coming in from 2 sides. This tank is still shooting though, not enough biles quite thrown on it, but I still believe that Special is going to end up dying here after an early game that simply was not good enough, that did not do enough damage to justify the economic loss in the very early stage of the game. And that means that Dark, despite some close games, is once again going to take out Special. Very frustrating here for the Mexican Terran player. He's going to lose that match in the GSL, but there's really nothing he can do right now. 83 supply to 193. It's going to be 2-2 at 75% done for Special, but even if he gets those upgrades, what does he have? 10 Marines to shoot with it? Yeah, 10 Marines, 1 Marauder, 1 tank. And there's 40 Roaches, there's 9 Ravagers, there's no fort base, and that's going to be a real issue. Special in disbelief as he tries his best to stay in, but will end up losing right here, right now, as there's literally nothing that he can do. GG gets called, and Dark indeed wins the series. Pretty much what people had expected, but Special tried his best. Threw a couple of curveballs Dark's way, and Dark definitely messed up in the defense against him. Definitely Special putting himself in good positions in Game 1 and 2. Game 1 he managed to win. Game 2, despite the lead that he had, not quite capable of closing that one out. That is going to be it for Dark. That's going to be it for Special, and that's going to be it for all of us. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.